Boom! We're back, everybody. We've got pizza, we've got soda, we've got recreational substances, we've got Tom! His computer's working again. Yeah, Tom.
I mean, I am on my TV, though, not my computer, but
Well, your
yeah.
TV's working then. Look, man, I'm just happy you're here. Alright. I'm on this little island. I gotta go to this island. I'm gonna poke these bugs first. But, how have you been, man?
I've been pretty good. Had a bout of illness due to all of the pollen issues.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I ended up getting a sinus infection from all of the pollen bullcrap.
So, automatically I can tell you a problem that we're going to have. And that's that I just tried to use Elden Ring controls to loot. So, uh-oh. Well, hey, there's a boat. And a harpy. That's not a boat I can steal, though, is it?
No, it's too big.
Man. 0 out of 10 game. Completely breaks the open world experience. Yeah, let's just go for it.
You should be able to summon a boat the same way you summon a horse.
Right? Just whistle for it.
And then it appears on top of a house nearby.
Well, so I know that nobody's watching yet, but Tom, we have quite a docket of things to discuss, don't we?
Where do we want to start?
Man, that's up to you, man. You're the one who even mentioned Air Bud.
All right,
you're on. Oh, Rob is watching, and Rob is far from nobody.
So, we need to unpack this week's episode of Last Week Tonight.
The John Oliver on HBO show?
Yes. John Oliver, this is an off week, and on off weeks they do little short webisodes. And in this episode, he did a critical analysis of the acclaimed 1996 movie Air Bud.
Now, who would call Air Bud acclaimed? Like, when's the
People
last...
who are fans of Air Bud.
And the like we all know Air Bud because it's ingrained in our culture. Air Bud's the movie with the basketball playing golden retriever. There ain't no rule says a dog can't play basketball.
So the thing that required me to reset my brain was the inordinate amount of time that John Oliver spent objectively proving that Air Bud is a bad basketball player, and they should not have allowed him on the team.
I mean, without the fact that it's a dog entering into the equation, just that it's not that good at basketball. Also, you know, like during, I think it was like a middle school tournament, right?
Yeah.
Also not a middle school student. Like, not, in fact, a student enrolled at the school. It's like, it's true, there's no, ain't no rule that a dog can't play basketball, but also, like, there are rules.
Shouldn't.
Yeah, there are rules that say, like, students have to be doing this.
I think it was like a Pee-wee league. But either way, like, you still have to be... Like, I'm sure they have membership rules. Like, you have to be a certain age.
Yeah, or like part of a school system, right? Like, it's this neighborhood or this league. You can't just be like, oh yeah, and here's, Ain't no rule says a 45-year-old man can't play basketball. Well, it's against a bunch of kids. He shouldn't. Like, this is specifically a tournament for children. But, yes, go on.
Okay, but now I kind of want to see a movie where Manu Ginobili plays against a bunch of middle schoolers.
See,
but the movie frames it as if he is still the good guy.
now I am not in general a sports fan, right? Post high school, I was never very good at them, which I'm certain has a lot to do with it.
Where in the world are you going?
I don't even know, man.
Like, you should sail towards a place that has either a port or a boat.
Yeah, but I don't know where those are. I need to go up here, because these are likewise stupid and out of the way.
You should go get a boat before you do that. It will take you so much less time.
Fine. Map. But see, that's the problem, my dude. There ain't no boats. Like, there's a boat over here.
Yeah, you're going to have to swim south to another island in order to get a boat. Yeah. That's why losing your boat's kind of a big deal.
Fine. I'll go here. It's still going to be a hell of a trek, though, so, like... There we go. Keep talking.
All right, so to keep people interested, let's move away from Air Bud and let's talk about the thing that everyone's going to be talking about for the next few weeks.
Now, look, I still think that we have some things to discuss about Air Bud, or more specifically, the fact that, of course, he could do a critical analysis of Air Bud. He's British. These are people that get excited about soccer, which is objectively one of the world's most boring sports, and or cricket, which is objectively one of the most confusing. Like, these are the people that out of, like, that built a cultural cornerstone of their entire, like, national identity out of dried leaves. Right? Like, why is it surprising that John Oliver could talk about Air Bud for 10 minutes? They're the British. Have you seen Regency dramas? They can make, like, longing, exasperated stares last hours. I'm surprised that he said anything at all behind the desk and didn't just go, oh dear.
Now, he's more clever than that.
No, he's great. He's a treasure. I love the guy. It's just... You know, I appreciate it. I watch a YouTuber named Quentin Reviews who did like an 8-hour-long review of the Disney sitcom iCarly, or the Nickelodeon sitcom iCarly, shows which I did not watch, by the way. But I sat through literally a day's worth. Like, I have been in government training exercises that took as long. I admire the artistry. You know? John Oliver said something during this last thing that was like, why would I waste your time with this thing? Is it because I fancy myself some kind of, you know, like some kind of clown? And I'm paraphrasing badly here. Like some kind of clown whose only purpose is to somehow, you know, amuse you in the time between now and death. And I was like, yeah. It's fun, man. Thanks. We need that.
We appreciate you.
We have to, because we're... Oh, man, shit's getting bad.
A good transition point into the richest man in the world buying the largest social media network in the world.
Yeah. They Twitter unanimously agreed to buy or agreed to sell to Elon Musk for $44 billion.
Literally enough money to end homelessness in America
Twice.
with money left over.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, of course, I don't think that Musk will be. I think one of two things will happen, right? Either Musk will very quickly realize his mistake, right? Musk is a guy who thinks he's savvy at Twitter, but is not. And this is not a claim that I am. I don't want to be. But he's one of those, like, he's that douchebag from school where you were like, hey man, they are in fact laughing at you, not with you.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're kind of a dick. Everybody knows it. No, they're laughing with me. No, they're laughing at you because you're a dick.
You should go along the coast to the north. Well, I mean, there was a boat along the northern side of the island.
Yeah. I was just using this marker to point me in the right direction. So now I've got to go this way. But if I can do that overland, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to get over the edge of that mountain.
Boom!
All right. Good job. One of the rare times when you can actually get over the edge of a mountain in Skellige.
But yeah, you know, I think that I don't think that Musk buying Twitter is going to change too much, right?
I think what's going to happen is he's going to implement all of these, like, this must be a free speech zone thing, and Twitter is just going to turn into a cesspool of neo-Nazis.
I don't think that he has the capacity to, right?
He's already lifted the bans on, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the dude from Florida who's being indicted for
unless he completely upends every single one of Twitter's safety policies, he will like they'll just ban themselves again.
I think that the intention is that he is going to lift all of those policies.
Well, then everybody will just leave, and now now he'll be the owner of the world's most expensive parlor.
Yeah, it'll be Tumblr 2.0, and he will lose. He'll end up selling it in a year for less than 10% of what he bought it for.
Yeah, and like money aside, the guy's just an idiot. Like, he's just a rich kid who thinks he's smart. You know, like,
I got into it today with a bunch of people who thought, literally said, this guy is the Da Vinci of our time.
What is it? He hasn't invented anything.
Yeah, I had to explain that, like, he's not an inventor. He didn't make the Tesla Roadster. He didn't even make Tesla. He bought the company that already existed. He didn't make PayPal. He bought PayPal.
And even then, PayPal was not as revolutionary. It was, what if we can pay money for things on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which people already
they were already doing.
They just made it more convenient and got it more widely adopted by places. It really wasn't a, like, massive leap. But, like, even SpaceX, which he built, he did found SpaceX, all of their starting IP, they bought from other companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of the technology that they use to start SpaceX was developed by SpaceX. They bought it from other people.
And like, you know, hey, SpaceX, good on you. You've done some impressive stuff, but like, Elon Musk is not a rocket scientist.
And not only that, you only are able to do all of that impressive stuff at massive subsidies from the taxpayers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, both Tesla and SpaceX would have folded by now if not for the money being poured into them from taxpayer dollars.
Yep.
But people act like he's a brilliant genius. Like, one of the things that somebody said earlier today that like really annoyed me was they were arguing like, you know, he has helped mobilize the electric vehicle industry so that we can have, help the environment by having electric vehicles. And I commented with, if his goal was to expand the amount of electric vehicles that are on the road, why did he make a sports car that only super rich people can afford instead of a, commuter sedan electric car that anyone could afford and that would massively reduce the amount of emissions on the road?
Yeah, that's like remember that time that he was like, hey, if somebody gives me a list of what they do with $6 billion, in order to end child hunger in America, I'll give you the money. And people went like, yo, here's the list. And he was like, what? That guy's not good with money. He just paid $44 billion for Twitter.
Farewell.
Right? Like...
Like, I get 100% why they would unanimously agree to sell it for that, because Twitter isn't worth $44 billion, and it definitely won't be by the time Elon Musk is done with it.
And like everyone is everyone's looking at Twitter and going like, well, now that there's some rich dickwad owning Twitter. There's always been a rich dickwad that owned Twitter. Like, Jack Dorsey's not that great.
Farewell.
Like, it's just a different rich douchebag.
His only real advantage is that he doesn't open his mouth a whole lot.
Right, because when he did, the lawyers showed him mathematically, hey, whenever you do this, you lose money.
Yeah.
You actively devalue your platform by letting people hear your thoughts. Right? Every time you speak on this soapbox, on this little digital soapbox that you created, you cost yourself money. And Dorsey was smart enough to be surrounded with people that said, hey, dude, shut up. Why don't you go on a meditation retreat to Tibet and get richer?
John, game advice.
What?
You're going the wrong way.
Mom's going the wrong way.
You won't be able to get down the mountain from that side. It's going to be too steep.
Fine.
You have to go around the village.
Right. So, like, right now, Musk can be like, oh, yeah, I every time I say something, stocks fall, waka, waka, waka. James, I will not leave your going the wrong way, Mom, out of this. We have a contractual agreement. But no, anytime Musk like opens his mouth as the owner of Twitter, he's just going to be hemorrhaging more money.
And every time he implements a policy that doesn't end up being popular, he's just going to lose that much more money. Because people will leave. Somebody will create something else. After Tumblr died, Instagram exploded.
Yeah, or we'll just go back to MySpace. Right? Like I'll dust off the old account and see if I still have, like a Nine Inch Nails song playing in MIDI on the background, and
I wonder if I still have that Brick Breaker game on mine.
see, we'll play in Aquarium. Like Elon Musk is either going to screw up Twitter so badly that everyone just goes somewhere else, and everybody with some kind of we'll all move to Getter. That's what it's like. This is Mastodon, and I'm like, or I will go on ahead, realize that I'm 40 years old, and just like get off the internet entirely and go, I'm done here. I don't need social media. Maybe it's time to take up gardening or I don't know, building miniature ships and bottles, but I am dead to the online world. Okay.
You're going back north.
I know. I'm putting myself on marker.
Too far.
Get marker. Get marker. Okay. Reverse. There we go. But no, like anybody of any kind of wit or substance is just gonna bail, and then it's just gonna be the same, right-wing fascist kooks, but with nobody clever to respond to.
Have you seen what his lists of changes that he wants to make to the site are?
No. I think that he will be swarmed with lawyers that say, hey, doing this is financial suicide for you.
The problem is that he'll do it anyways.
Yeah.
Like they'll swarm him with lawyers and he'll do it anyways, because at this point him buying Twitter his
own lawyers will swarm him. His own lawyers will be like, "Hey, dude, you cannot get into this fight. Like you will have to start moving funds from other businesses to keep this afloat." Right? Like his lawyers are going to tell him you can't do all of these things.
But if the reason why he can't do them is because he will lose money, he'll do it anyways, because him buying Twitter was not about making money.
No, it's about proving that he's the smart boy that he thinks he is. This will send a message like James just said in the chat. Every trade he makes from this point on will be ratioed. Right? Everyone's just going to say, "Dude, we're not impressed. You're a rich douchebag going through a midlife crisis. You just pulled up to the Mediterranean restaurant in your Corvette and revved the engine, and nobody cares. Your hair plugs are not convincing."
Start dating women your own age.
No, stop dating. Don't inflict that on any woman. Women deserve better than that. Like if you had the choice to be the richest man in the world, but you had to be Elon Musk, would you do it?
Definitely not.
No. I respect myself too much. There. Oh, off of the boat. And dive. Down we go. There you are. Anybody else?
Anyone else want to negotiate?
Anybody else want some underwater pokins? No, man, he's just a God, what a sad individual.
Like, it's amazing how much projection a lot of the like his defenders do, because there are so many people that I was arguing with earlier today who were like basically trying to accuse me of, you only hate him because he's Elon Musk.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
you know, you're fanboying over Jeff Bezos, and I'm like, look, I hate all billionaires.
Right, like there are people starving, my guy. It's not a race. I don't like, none of them are my team.
Yeah, they should all be gone.
You're anti Elon Musk. You must be pro Bezos. No, Bill Gates. No.
I mean, one cannot become a billionaire unless you exploit something. Like, you're either exploiting your workers, your consumers, the environment, or some combination of all three. That's the only way to be a billionaire. And we shouldn't allow it.
No, we should not. Granted, you know me, man. I'm all for radical redistribution of wealth.
I mean, as am I. God, this ship must have hit the beach with some force.
Yep.
It is considerably up out of the water.
I think that's what you call a clipping error. Where's my... Nope, not that one. Ard. Yar. Guy, you okay? Buddy?
I'm gonna bet no.
Do it yourself. How many times have you cursed a sailor for sewing a shirt more crooked than that infamous home in Nomograd? How many times have you argued with a smith who proved unable to forge a simple horseshoe in a month? How many times you steal the field? Okay, this is so shove his extortioners from the crafting guilds. You should make full of whom. Roll up and get to work. This might explain a lot. Oh. And Diary of a Fire Swallower, which I think I've already read before.
Yeah, you have.
So that was the hidden treasure? A vial of something? Okay.
No. Maybe it popped up a quest for you. I didn't see one though. Oh, I guess it is. Because it's now grayed out, so apparently that was the treasure. It must be part of a side quest that you haven't unlocked yet.
Yeah. Okay, now I just gotta get back to my boat.
Yep, to the boat.
Right down there, okay. I don't trust that.
What was Amanda making some kind of very vulgar yet appropriate commentary about Elon Musk?
I'm not sure, but she has pointed out she doesn't think that. I don't know what that commentary is or what it might be.
You should just be able to hop off the side. Yeah, you're fine.
There you go. It's nice to watch someone else play games out of it. Yeah, I've heard that Horizon Forbidden West is great, and man, I have been getting trucked in my attempts in Elden Ring.
No spoilers for Forbidden West.
Yeah, I mean, so how close are you to finishing it?
Oh, I haven't started it yet. I'm still trying to work my way through the
Oh, the first one?
DLC for the first one, because the DLC for the first one is a little bit brutal.
Ooh. James says no spoilers, just play it.
Like it is an amazing game in terms of plot. And there are so many things in even in the first one that like they're such emotional punches, and you don't want to have them spoiled for you.
I mean, I don't own either game, and it will probably be a while before I can afford them. So I'll have forgotten about this conversation long before then.
Sure, but like other people
Yeah, I get it.
listening might not. But they are on the computer, so like you could
Oh yeah, I
get
could
them.
I could get them on Steam, and if Steam holds like a really cool sale, and I've got a little extra scratch, great. But I mean, they're not going to put those games anywhere under like $30 for a while.
You can probably get Zero Dawn for under 30 when they do a big sale.
I will put it upon my watch list. Let's see. Yeah,
Because I mean, I got the complete edition on uh, PS4 for like $20 during a sale, something like that.
But let's see. Tom and I have both been playing Elden Ring as well.
I love it.
So in the event that you are playing on PC, let me know, and I will come invade your world. And
So there is also they have been talking about crossplay, but apparently it's been very
come on, turn.
problematic getting it to work.
Mm.
So it may not be for a while that they get crossplay functional on Elden Ring.
I am so glad that there are super like super good Elden Ring players, I suppose, who have been able to like figure things out enough in the game where I can look at an article and be like, oh, this is a strategy I can use, because this stuff does not come naturally to me.
That's fairly true of every Dark Souls game. It's just you had the bad experience of your first Dark Souls game you played was Dark Souls 3,
I didn't play
which
it.
starts you out
No,
against.
I didn't play Dark Souls 3. I have killed the first 5 guys in Dark Souls 3, and then the game stops. I have not played it.
Yeah,
I have seen none of it.
The first boss in that game is a beef gate, and there's no exploit to beating it. You just gotta beat him, be good enough.
I would probably, like, if I went back after the hours that I put into Elden Ring, I'm still not sure that I would have fun going against that guy. Yeah, see, James, I haven't finished it yet. I'm making sure that I like do all of the exploration. I'm gonna try my hand at Millennia before I if I can do it before I even go down before I even go to the Giant's Forge. I'm trying to find a non-spoiler way to talk about anything. But if I can do that before I get to the Giant's Forge.
I don't know if you can spoil people on the plot of Elden Ring. It is very obtuse.
Yeah. Wait until they fix her. I gotta hurry now. I gotta see if that let me solo her guy is still taking pity on we poor mortals. All right, quick
So
map check.
I am likewise, James. I am doing a faith build with my character, and I am torn as to if I want to go for the gold mask ending or if I want to go for the frenzied flame with this playthrough.
I have just really enjoyed how pretty it is.
It is very pretty.
Like there are just some times where like I hit a vista and go, wow.
Like many FromSoft games, it is both very pretty and at the same time spectacularly gross at points.
It's really horrible. Like, Caelid is the least welcoming place I have ever been to in a video game.
Just absolutely covered in weird fungus.
I don't like it. Oh, the latest patch made Millennia heal even if she doesn't... Nah, they can't do it. Impossible fight. Impossible fight.
Why didn't you drop the tag directly on the thing you're going for?
Because I'm enjoying the journey, Tom.
Okay. You do you.
Leave the helm. Off we go. Hey, Harpies, no reason to look at my boat. Leave my boat alone. There's a siren. I'm probably gonna need to have to come up for air real quick. And back down.
So there are no spoilers in this, but I watched a video about Horizon Forbidden West from the Outside Xbox YouTube channel, and they did a whole video about Easter eggs, and they're not plot-related Easter eggs; they're like world Easter eggs. So Horizon Forbidden West is set obviously on the West Coast, going from like Utah through Nevada to like San Francisco.
Oh, I didn't even think it was in America.
No, it is. The first game was too. And that becomes very obvious within an hour of playing it. But there are underwater Easter eggs. Uh-oh.
No, I'm fine. Just don't know where this dang treasure is.
There are underwater Easter eggs off the coast, where the city of San Francisco would have been, because like there's been like, earthquakes since the apocalypse, and like part of the coast has collapsed. But you can like find buildings from modern day San Francisco underwater, and you would never. There's no reason to go there. You just, go out there and explore. Like there's no quest marker. There's no anything out there. You would only find them just by going out and swimming through the ocean.
Let's see. This bears noting. James says, the exploration is wonderful. I ended up doing Ronnie's ending. I unashamedly simped for the pretty four-armed blue Empyrean.
Arguably the best ending in the game.
I agree. I agree, but only because they have me fight Millennia instead of be like, hey, do you want to go get pizza later? Like, I don't know. She's tall. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm not sure which ending I want to do yet. I don't think I want to do Frenzied Flame. I'm not that big a nihilist.
If you're chasing a platinum, well, you're on Steam, so I think the achievements are basically the same, but if you're trying to 100% the game, you have to do the Frenzied Flame ending at some point.
No, I'll do it on some like new game thing, but
Yeah,
not for my first.
there's three achievements that are related to endings. One is basically get any of the various "You Become the New Elden Lord" endings. So any one of those is fine. And then the other two are Age of Stars and then Frenzied Flame. So you have to do Ronnie's, you have to do one of the various Elden Lord ones, and you have to do Frenzied Flame to get a 100%.
Yeah, but like, I don't think I care that much about 100%ing it. You know, I can look up the ending cutscenes on online.
And I mean, the coolest one is Ronnie's.
Yeah.
Like I've already watched the cutscenes; they're pretty great.
She's great. She's but like, she's a little Ren Fair poser who does the if thou chooseth, and it's like you're not fooling anyone.
Oh, we get it. You took Amdrams in community college.
Oh, somebody had a crush on their Chaucer professor. Got it.
You don't get locked into the Frenzied Flame ending unless you like. It's basically right at the end of the game where you would get locked into the Frenzied Flame ending.
Yeah, well, that's where the endings happen, Tom.
Well, but like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, by the time that you've gotten locked into doing the Frenzied Flame ending, like James is saying in the chat, you've already decided that that's the ending you're going for.
So this means that I have been to this harbor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same village that you were at when you sold your stuff just a little bit ago.
Yeah. I need to go to the different undiscovered location. There we go.
So I've been watching a bunch of like lore videos about Elden Ring.
Getting your body vidya on.
Not just him. A bunch of people have been producing really good content. But I am really impressed, and I'm curious at this point how much of that was George R. R. Martin.
Oh, very little. Very little. Very, very little.
Because it is it's some pretty interesting like mythology of the setting.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee you that that he put like his touches on it. There are very clearly a few of the things that he enjoys, like, hey, in the Millicent fight, how about if she fights like all of her sisters, and you can call them like the Sand Snakes or something. Like, but nah. I imagine his authorial influence is very minor. Get back in the water. Handle these sirens.
I mean, if this is boring you, you could always go and do a quest.
No, because what if I need a thing that's here? I would just like personally, if there's like, oh hey, here's a smuggler's cache, I don't think that you need to put 6 sirens like swarming around them, right? Like you can just have it be like, oh hey, here's a neat thing. You don't have to have, oh hey, here's the neat thing, now do your, the same thing you always have to do. You dive under the water and shoot a crossbow at a bunch of sirens. We put 6 to 8 of them around the things, just like you expect. You don't have to do that.
Metroidvania meets pinball.
Ooh.
I don't even know what that would look like.
I imagine like I mean there was like a Samus Aran pinball game once. I mean, I imagine that's what it would look like.
I don't have a mental image for that, so
Well, imagine
I will have to look it up.
imagine Samus Aran curled up into a ball, and then imagine pinball with that.
So do we care about Elden Ring spoilers with how weird the plot is? Because I do want to talk about some of the implications of the lore.
I mean, if James and Rob and Amanda don't mind, I don't mind.
What's the word, y'all? Do you care? Because I want to get into some deep lore discussions.
Oh, okay, the Yoku's Island Express. I heard about this. Yeah. I'll add that to the Steam list as well if it's on there. I played a wonderful little game, Death's Door, which was a lot of fun. Kind of an isometric Zelda-esque, like Zelda meets Tim Burton kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah, Death's Door was fantastic.
So any objections to talking about lore for Elden Ring? It might be spoilery.
Rob says deep lore, which I think is a commendation. Okay, Amanda was telling me about this earlier. So we would like to discuss, and we need to get your insight in this, Tom, as the resident guy who has read all the books and has already beaten this game. Boundaries in Gerald's relationships.
I have not read all the books, but he is very much dedicated to Yennefer.
No, not just romantic relationships, like in all relationships. We want to talk about all of Jerry Two Swords' various mixing social contracts.
He has like 5 core relationships, and everyone outside of that is varying degrees of acquaintance.
Right.
Because it's basically Ciri, Uncle Mitch, Yennefer, Triss, and Yaskir. And I guess the 6th would be his dwarf friend.
But not even Lambert?
So the other Witchers, like, they're not friends. Like, it's one of those sort of like, they work together, they trust each other with their lives, but they're not friends. Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Like, it's very much the kind of relationship that like soldiers have.
I don't know why I came up here.
I don't either.
Purdy.
Maybe it's because it's Purdy.
Do we have another person on the chat?
I think Rob might have logged on.
No.
Nope.
Yes,
It's
again.
James. Hi, May. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I figure if we're going to be getting into chitty chats,
Yeah.
I can just jump on in here.
Tom,
So-
James, Tom.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Hello.
So
I've probably killed you a couple of times in Among Us.
Yeah.
probably. So
Come on, Jerry.
this is what I want to talk about with Elden Ring. The implication about the Black Knife assassins, the killing of Godwyn, and how all of that comes about. Because the lore all but confirms that Ronnie is the one who ordered the
Oh, yeah.
Black Knights to go after Godwyn.
Yeah, 100%. Now Godwin is her is of what relationship to Ronnie again?
So, in the
We
beginning,
don't know.
Well, so in the beginning, you had what the heck is his name? The dude with the lion.
Forloo, Godfrey.
Godfrey. You had Godfrey and the Queen.
America.
Yeah, we're together, and their first child was Godwin. Then you had Radagon and the witch queen whose name Renala. Their first child was Ronnie, and then Radagon left Renala and went and married Marika. / they became the same person, which is
Right, which
still
is
not yet clear.
well, and that's the thing. It's that America is Radagon.
Yes, but we don't know at which point that occurred, because there's lots of stuff in the lore that implied that at one point they were two separate beings and then became one being later.
Well, you also have to question whether it was not necessarily Ronnie's plot to kill Godwin, but there's also things that support that Marika started the entire thing.
Yes, that she forged the Black Knives. That is the real point that I want to bring up. Like, what is the long game that she's playing here? Like, what is her plan for all of this?
She wants people to be able to die.
But she was the one that stopped them from dying in the first place.
Right, she's the one who
She
ruled
had
death.
No,
she gave
Ronnie,
the rune of death to Malekith.
Right, Ronnie wants people to die.
Right, but Marika is the one who forged the Black Knives and gave them to Ronnie. Well, gave them to the Black Knife Assassins so that Ronnie could order them to use them. Which raises the question, like, why?
See, I didn't read it as as like Ronnie was given the Black Rune. Ronnie took the Black Rune after the shattering of the first Elden Ring. Oh God, I'm out of breath.
She did, but she only was able to get that rune.
Come on, Jerry, get up there, get up.
Oh, you're gonna make it? Come on!
Nope. Oh well. Stupid drowning.
You literally broke water right as you drowned.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Yeah, that's irritating. Now I get to do it again. Anyway.
So I think that Ronnie unquestionably, like, she used the Black Knives to steal a piece of the Rune of Death.
Yes.
The question that's still out there and unanswered is, did she do that on her own? Was she the one that kicked it off, or was that part of Marika's long game?
Right.
To set off whatever she had in motion.
And the question at that point is, why would Marika do that? Like, for what reason? And the only thing I can think of is because she wants to break the entire order.
See, I always thought that it was because Marika honestly got tired of being a god.
Being a god sucks.
Kind of like how Sandman was an elaborate multi-volume recording of Dream's suicide.
Yeah.
I feel like this was Marika's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I think Marika was just like, hey, look, one of y'all is going to have to take over, and you guys need to figure out what you're going to do with it. I'm out. Like, she's already literally crumbling by the time that you get to her, right? How long has she been like that?
Since she was imprisoned when she broke I don't know when she started crumbling, but I mean, she's been imprisoned for a very long time.
Yeah.
When she broke the Elden Ring.
She's just tired. She just wants
I'm pretty sure the at least what I got out of the cutscenes was that it implies that the breaking of America / Radagon was a consequence of attempting to fix the Elden Ring. That they used so much of their power to attempt to fix it that it began causing them to fall apart.
So,
Well, my
so like,
sorry, go ahead, John.
but we are all in agreement that this is Ronnie's punk rock teen rebellion against like being told what to do by the outer will, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she killed her own two fingers.
Yeah, she was like,
and
nah.
cast aside her room.
I ain't gonna listen to you. By the way, I'm gonna brand my body with the word for true death. You know, like, hey, there we go. Now that I've got the ultimate god-killing weapon, I'm gonna kill everybody someday. Nobody tells me what to do. Like, she's four-armed and gothy, and that's great, but you know, she's rebellious. She's punk rock. She doesn't like being told what to do.
I think my question is, the quest that you're on to become Elden Lord is something that the greater will wants. The
Yes.
two fingers that you find in the round table hold want you to do this. Radagon is tried to mend the Elden Ring because he wants the Golden Order restored, supposedly. So why did he bar the Erd Tree from anybody entering, and why does he suddenly turn hostile to you once you do enter, if you becoming Elden Lord is what seemingly everybody wants?
If I had to hazard a guess on that, I would say it's kind of one of those, like, it can't be given, it must be taken sort of things.
Oh, I mean, it could also just be like Radagon's getting cold feet, right? Like, he knows that giving up that last fragment of power means functionally death.
But becoming Elden Lord is becoming the consort to Marika.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not, he wouldn't be giving up anything if you became Elden Lord.
Yeah, but then he would also be forced to date you, and he just doesn't like you in that way, Baka.
That's fair.
Yeah, see, Radagon confirms tsundere.
I mean, I got the impression that the Elden Beast is kind of puppeting everything from the back. So, I mean, that could have something to do with the fact of why they fight in the end, because the greater will does not want you to do this.
So, like, so you guys have done some deep dives into the lore as well. Clearly, the Godskin nobles. What's their whole deal?
I haven't read their stuff in a while, but they can go jump off a Godskin cliff.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them, but I got to admire their style.
So just letting you know, John, that island that you see in the distance with that ridiculously honking tower on it, you'll come back there later in the game.
Okay, so don't bother with it now?
Yep.
Great.
I do appreciate... Sorry, go ahead.
I don't even think you can get to it right now. I think if you start getting close to it, you get enveloped in a mist, and then all of a sudden your boat will be going out in a opposite direction.
I'm trying to get there now, but it's real slow sailing, apparently.
I do appreciate the incantations that you get from killing each of the Godskin nobles and apostles that you come across. That black flame stuff was really helpful in beating Radagon and the Elfen Beast.
See, I haven't managed to like get a hang of where to throw those yet, you know?
So like I said, I ended up finishing it with a dual scythe build, and one of them was the grave size that I put the Black Flame Tornado Ash of War on.
Ooh.
And the Black Flame, any Black Flame stuff, I think, if I remember right, does extra damage against God characters.
Yeah, does that count as like holy damage?
Are you holding down the like accelerate button,
Sure
John?
am.
You should hop out of your boat and then hop back in.
You should check your server settings on your boat.
Yeah. Yep,
You need
that's about as fast as it travels,
gross.
right? I wonder something. Let me see here. No, I'm still not at my carry weight, but I'm getting there.
But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the lore that hasn't been explained yet, as far as I know, and the Godskin nobles are one of them.
Well,
I
the blade, one of the blades that you get from killing them, there's some lore behind a Newman queen. Like I think that they come from the same like following that America came from, the
Yeah.
Newmans, because the lore for one of the swords you get from them mentions like a queen that may or may not have also had something to do with the Rune of Death, maybe. I can't remember exactly.
I think they're like I think their whole deal is they're like coming for America, but they can't get to her because, you know, she has this whole order set up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're guys who are trying to amass their power so that they can get past Horaloo. Hey, Tom,
Well, but
there's your whale.
Ooh, it's a big whale. Horaloo doesn't like his arrival. Like the fight against Horaloo is him returning. He isn't just sitting there.
Yeah.
He's returning from the long march, and when you meet him, he's just gotten back.
yeah.
So he's not an obstacle to anybody that anybody knows of.
Yeah, it'd be Malekith then.
Yeah, it'd be Malekith.
That whole concept I think is really interesting, that the beasts are shadows. Like they're the actual shadows of people.
Ripped Blythe.
Poor dude.
But yeah, so the one of the things I think is really interesting from a like FromSoft meta standpoint, when talking about like the lore of Elden Ring, is
Yeah, no, you'll have to explain the rest of this to me because I was not a Dark Souls story guy.
I was going to. So
Sit back, stay a while, and listen.
So Miyazaki is known for not doing things by accident. Like if he makes a decision about a certain design choice for a game, it's a very conscious decision. So in the Dark Souls series, you have always had a difference between sorcery and then another kind of magic. And in Dark Souls, it was pyromancy was the other kind of magic, because pyromancy is not sorcery. Pyromancy is derived from the power of the Chaos Flame, which was an attempt to recreate the first flame, and the first flame is like the source of all magic in the world. So I think it's really interesting from a lore standpoint that faith is used to do all of the incantations of like the Golden Order when you do stuff like heal, or the various spells that like put holy on your weapons to buff them, stuff like that. But it's also the stat that is used for things like the dragon incantations and for the various frenzied flame spells.
Yeah, but those tend to do more. Those tend to ask you to have points in arcane too, as well as faith.
Sure, but arcane is kind of a weird catch-all power.
Well, I always saw arcane as the power of the three fingers. So like it's still faith. It's still a variant of faith, but you're kind of switching your allegiance from the 2 fingers of order to the 3 fingers of chaos.
Does that imply that the 3 fingers were behind dragons?
It could.
So like,
But dragons were before.
Yeah, what's
everything,
the deal with the dragons?
The dragons were before America, because the secret boss, which is one of the badassest looking dragons I've ever seen in a video game, from Farum Azula, Dragon Lord Placidusax, was an Elden Lord.
All right, I gotta go hit a vendor and sell my stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta make that money. Capitalism exists everywhere.
All right, it's all about them ducats, baby.
I mean, this is feudalism, but Geralt is lucky to not be a serf.
But yeah, from what I remember, the dragons came before all of this, which is interesting to think about, because the Elden Beast is a vassal of the Elden Ring, and Marika and Radagon are like, they house the Elden Ring within themselves. But before them, there were these dragons with their own Elden Lord.
Right, and I think the implication there is, so you, John, you can fast travel to any harbor.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah,
very handy.
When you're on a boat, you can fast travel to any harbor.
Man, what am I going to discover in the second 100 hours that I play this game?
I'll be honest, I haven't followed you much. Are you still in the base game, or have you hit the expansions yet?
I'm
He is
still in
not
the base
even
game.
close to the expansions. He's probably got the levels to do Heart of Stone.
Wouldn't mind a look at your wares.
But yeah, I don't think he's in the right plot point yet to start messing around with that.
Oh no, I forgot that I already took most of this guy's money. Here, dude, let me buy some, Devania Runestones. No. Buy some diagrams. That'll be fun.
But yeah, so like just talking about the design implications of things in the Dark Souls games, pyromancy is a type of magic that is not based on your stats. So like anyone can be good at pyromancy. It's more based on what items you're using than based on what stats you have.
So what does that mean for Elden Ring, though?
So it's just bringing up the whole idea of like Miyazaki doesn't make design choices at random. So the idea that things like the Frenzied Flame and like dragon incantations being attached to faith instead of intelligence or intellect is a conscious design decision he has made. And it's definitely going to have lore implications. I just don't know what they are yet. But the idea that like things that are not aligned with the greater will use it is definitely an interesting idea.
Well,
Yeah, because every tome that you bring to somebody, whether it's the monk at the Round Table Hold, or Turtle Pope in the church in Liurnia, make mention that if you bring them a book that's not Golden Order spells, that it's some form of heresy.
It's
But they'll teach it to you anyway.
What do you think of this Hindersfall heavy armor?
Not worth it. That vitality is a drop in the bucket,
Right, that's
compared
useless.
with your total.
I've got better boots, though. I just need to socket them. Man.
Oh, so since last time we did Fantasy Poland Monday, I have a D&D related topic, if we would like to talk about that.
You know me so well, Tom.
So I picked up Mystic Odysseys of Theros. I saw it on relative sale on Amazon. I got it for $20. So I was like, yeah, that looks interesting. I'll pick it up. It is really good.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, it's a really cool setting, and the mechanic stuff with the idea of playing with favor, like being able to get favor from different deities and how it gives you different boons, that's a really cool mechanic.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, huh? Now that's a Magic the Gathering setting, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yeah. Like I really think WotC is leaning into making as many of their Magic settings as D&D settings, and you know what? I think that's a good business move on their part.
Well, like you heard the big news from this last weekend, right?
Spelljammer
and Dragonlance.
Dragonlance, yeah. Which Spelljammer puts you one step closer to
Planescape.
Freaking yeah.
Give me more Planescape.
You want to go to Sigil just so bad.
Hard G, Sigil. Like GIF. But yeah, no, D&D's getting all kinds of fun stuff happening there. I think that the success of Elden Ring will lead to them going, hey, maybe we should re-release Dark Sun as a setting.
Yeah, I want Dark Sun really bad.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my players actually not too long ago, and he was like, does this strike you as like a cash grab? And I'm like, not really. It strikes me more of they have kind of realized that, like, maybe they don't have to be antagonistic to those fans who are like, hey, can we get Planescape? You know, like, those were good settings. And if you have the rights to do them, I think the only reason why it's taken Dragonlance so long was because Weiss and Hickman were being kind of cantankerous. If they've got the rights to do it, there's no reason. 5e is a system that'll take any setting.
I think the reason why they waited to do Dragonlance was because they knew that the TV series was going to be in the works, and they wanted to kind of time releases.
Do you know there's like a whole Dragonlance musical from Russia?
No.
Yeah, there's like a stage musical that is Raceland's story.
In Russia.
In Russia.
That's extremely weird.
Like, fans all over the place, man.
I think there is one of those that you didn't get.
Okay, let me take a look.
I think you only grabbed two of those chests.
I got my fisheye on.
No, guess I was wrong. Guess you did get all of them.
Yep. All right, there we go.
So the new Magic the Gathering setting, if they do a D&D book for that will be pretty interesting. The like 1920s magic noir world.
Oh, like Eberron?
No, like leaning like less you got your magic in, or less you injected your post World War One setting into my high fantasy universe, and more you injected your high fantasy into my post World War I noir universe.
So what I'm hearing is that it's kind of like Eberron.
Yeah, but inverted. I gave a similar description about the book for Ravnica for 5e, where it is inverse Shadowrun. It's instead of injecting high fantasy into cyberpunk, it's injecting cyberpunk into high fantasy.
You got your mystic punk in my high fantasy?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. It's taking so much to get reused to the controls of this game, and the controls were never the tightest to begin with. There we go.
You're going to be real good at combat, though.
I mean, but like now, all of the timing is off because I'm like, oh, do I need to dodge roll that? Let me time my iframes, and that's not how this game works. Ah, oh, Jesus. Get off of the boat.
I introduced one of our old buddies to the game Blades in the Dark, which he had never heard of, and now he is obsessed with. That's
a weird, fun game. Like, weird in the good way.
Yeah, like, mechanically, it's very strange. It takes a little bit of, like... Because it both is powered by the apocalypse and isn't.
Like it's... Like, it's rules light, but not really?
Yeah. It's rules light, just in a different way.
Yeah.
James,
have you ever heard of this?
I haven't. I was just about to ask or say I have not heard of this. I was gonna say, are like weird in a cool way, like Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, weird in a cool way?
Kind of, yeah. One of the main mechanics in Blades in the Dark is like you get a crew together, right? Like you get a crew of criminals. And you get a crew of criminals with all kinds of different, specialties, a la Ocean's 11.
It's a heist game at its core.
Yeah, and you guys plan a score. And then you roll a couple of dice and see how well you did on that score.
Well, you roll a couple of dice.
And then you tell... Hang on, Tom. Then you tell the story of why you either did well or did poorly on that score.
So it's
that
not...
actually sounds really neat.
The whole score isn't summed up. The first dice that you roll at the start is to determine what your general starting position is. If it's good, if it's bad, if you have any advantages. But it just throws you straight into the action. Like... This isn't like Ocean's 11 where, the movie starts and there's a lot of build-up and there's a lot of prep. This dumps you straight into the heist itself. And then whenever you have a situation come up where you're like, hey, we need to get into this upper floor of this building in order to, come in through the skylight. It sure would have been good if we had a grappling hook.
That's when you do a flashback where you snuck onto the property earlier and left a satchel like underneath the one of the loose cobblestones back by the barn.
Like all of the preparation you do is done in flashback scenes, so that it costs you one of the resources you have in the game in order to do those flashback scenes. But it always gives you the opportunity to be like, no, we prepared for this.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It is
it really
a ton of fun. The setting is pure Bloodborne.
Oh, you got me hooked now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The setting.
I'm gonna let Tom explain the setting.
the way I described the setting to our friend Nick, who I introduced to the game, and now he has like read the whole book for it, is Thief meets Dishonored meets Bloodborne meets Peaky Blinders. So it is the world used to be a high fantasy setting. Like in the distant past, it was a high fantasy world with magic and knights and all of the things that you expect for a high fantasy world. Then the apocalypse happened. And it's been 800 years since the apocalypse happened. The sun is gone. It is destroyed. The moon is frighteningly large in the sky. And it is a world of endless night. And part of the problem with that is that at the same time that the apocalypse occurred, something happened with the afterlife.
Death
and
broke.
Now ghosts don't go anywhere anymore. They just stay on the earth. And they're real angry about that. So for centuries, magic was used to keep ghosts at bay. But magic began to break down. So what they ended up having was an industrial revolution that uses the blood of leviathans, which are like huge kraken whales in the ocean that they have to send out whaling boats to go and like siphon their blood off.
You gotta get a Moby Dick crew to go hunt Cthulhu for his blood so that you can continue to power the electric fence that keeps all of the wild ghosts out.
Yes. And that's just the window dressing. That is just the environment that your characters are in which they are pulling all these heists.
Like,
that's fantastic.
It is a ton
really
of fun,
cool setting.
and it is it's done by a group of guys who are very much in support of like, hey, take this mechanical system for this role-playing game and do whatever you want with it.
And there have been some really cool spin-offs made. There's a spin-off called Scum and Villainy, which is the same general concept, but in a
in Mos Eisley.
Yeah, basically doing your whole Firefly or like Mos Eisley Cantina type thing.
Hey Tom, should I go to this island with a lighthouse?
You've been there before.
Have I?
Yeah, that's the big island.
Oh yeah. I should go towards my marker then. All right, I'm back on it. We're good.
But yeah, there's Scum and Villainy, which is like a space opera spin-off. There's a game called Band of Blades, which is a dark medieval military spin-off.
Right, like Joe Abercrombie stuff.
Yeah.
I've played a hack of it that was just Shadowrun.
Yeah. There's a version of it called hold on. I've actually got them in my Dropbox. Instead of trying to remember them, I can just name them.
Here, I thought I was living on the edge of tabletop stuff with me and the wife playing Villainous.
Ooh, how are you enjoying that?
We really enjoy it. If we didn't have 2 kids, we'd probably try to get more people to play with us. But it's actually a lot of fun. Kelly really enjoys playing Maleficent, and I tend to go back and forth between. One of the expansions has Ratigan from the Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I kind of trade off him and Jafar.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, so besides Band of Blades, there's also Glow in the Dark, which is just post-apocalypse setting. There is Hack the Planet, which is a like hardcore old school cyberpunk game. And then there is Haunter in the Dark, which is Call of Cthulhu.
Ghosts.
But yeah, it's a really cool system. They call it Forged in the Dark, and it's based on a another game called Apocalypse World. And Apocalypse World created a system that they call Powered by the Apocalypse. They're all very well. Forged in the Dark is more crunchy, but the Powered by the Apocalypse games are super rules light, and there are a billion of them. Like you roll 2d6 for everything. The storyteller never rolls dice. It's incredibly narrative. The players have a super huge amount of agency. It is now currently my absolute favorite role-playing system out there.
John, your comment of ghosts makes me think that this is missing an expansion where one of the wayward ghosts tries to just make a crew and be friends with people.
Well, here's the fun thing. There's actually so in the setting lore, when somebody dies, a raven will begin circling overhead. And it will circle around where the body is until a bunch of basically plague doctors come to pick it up and do whatever they do to get the ghost to go away.
They burn the body using the Leviathan blood.
Yeah. Now, if you basically abscond with your compatriot's body and hide it away, kind of like keep it moving from these guys for 3 days, then eventually the ghost will detach, and then you can either stuff it into another corpse and create a vampire, or put it in a suit of diving armor and create like a ghost-powered steampunk robot. This setting is incredible.
Yeah.
You can't let go of your dead buddy? That's okay. He may not be happy when he wakes up inside a fishbowl, but you'll deal with that then.
There's also, these games all have, instead of like character classes, they all have playbooks. And there is a playbook in the game for just straight up playing a ghost. And the game will advise you, like, if you're going to just play a ghost, you are not normal anymore. Like, you need to play up the fact that you are now a horrible monster.
Everything hurts, and now you're playing Wraith. Have fun. Life is pain.
You're underwater. I thought for a second you were just kind of casually swimming under some wraiths that were flying away with your boat.
All right. Well, this siren is going a bit nuts on it, so I'm sure she'll end up breaking it. Ma'am? Ma'am. Well, good to
I'm
know.
pretty sure it's just flying into it at this point, like glitched out.
Yep. Good to know that I'm not alone in clipping errors. Get in the boat, Jerry.
Well, it wouldn't be a CD Projekt Red game without some kind of error.
I mean, at least they're not Bethesda.
That doesn't make them good.
No. That's like saying at least Cyberpunk 2077 at launch wasn't Fallout 76.
No, I mean, it's playable now.
It was playable at launch. It just had problems.
It was playable if you were committed.
What was the Bud Light slogan a million years ago? It's drinkable.
It's
It has drinkability.
Bud Light, now even more drinkable.
You can force it down your gullet.
Just don't think about it. Bud Light.
Like so I played it on PC, which is from what I understand a much better experience than console for Cyberpunk 2077. The only problems that I had at launch was that I had to turn down a lot of my graphics settings because like I just ran like rain. I had so many frame drops if it was raining.
It was because you made your pee-pee too big.
Yeah, and then
Because
also
CD Projekt Red can only handle so much.
well, they did an update. Now I don't have any problems, and I've been able to crank all my settings back up. But really, the only problems I had were frame rate drops whenever there was just too much stuff on the screen, and then also the driving was janky. And I'm really glad they fixed that.
But like, what wasn't the driving like one of their big selling points? Like, it was in all of the promotional material.
It probably would have been better if I was using a controller, but using the keyboard and mouse, terrible, absolutely terrible.
Terrible. All right, let's actually do a since I'm on a boat and it's falling apart, I'm going to go to this harbor and actually do a part of my quest.
Woo!
Praise me, Tom.
First time you've done a quest in like
it's
this year.
It's been an age.
He's busy. He's been busy wandering the lands between, also not doing quests. Which, interestingly enough, is also a problem in either of the Horizon games.
I mean, like, if it's an open world game, so I want to get distracted.
Yeah.
Hey, what
I
up,
don't.
guy?
I never really mess with photo modes in games, but for Forbidden West, I could not stop myself from taking pictures. And a couple of the people that I moderate some of the WB Games forums with were trading screenshots of Forbidden West just back and forth in our server.
Nice.
Oh, I'll be sure to tell them exactly what I
It is gorgeous.
It would be disgrace to censor such an artist.
Like, all the screenshots I've seen for it just look like stunning.
And you said you were on PS5?
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Lucky.
I got so lucky. So this was before I got mine before like all of the stores started gating their PS5 sales behind like Walmart Plus and Best Buy super big penis buy it now kind of thing. I got mine from Walmart. I was just randomly on Twitter and it said Walmart selling a PS5. So I was like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. And I hopped on Walmart and just spam clicked the add to cart button and got super lucky.
Nice. Yeah,
if you are interested in Forbidden West, the way to go is to get, whether you're on PS5 or PS4, is to get the PS4 version.
Yeah,
because
that's why
it's $10 cheaper, and then you can upgrade it for free to the PS5 version.
Yeah, I did that with both Forbidden West and Elden Ring. Both of those get free upgrades.
Game that system, my guys.
Well, and that was all a result of PlayStation being incredibly greedy with Forbidden West because they wanted to. I don't remember exactly what it was, but like the PS5 version was, or maybe it was the collector's edition you had. No, that's what it was. The collector's edition had both PS4 and PS5 versions. And like the standard edition, you could only get PS4 or PS5 with no upgrade options. And the internet collectively lost their minds on PlayStation. And they were like, hey, we're sorry. That was a dumb move. From here on out, all of our PS4 version games will have an upgrade path to PS5.
And on top of that, the fans were pretty pissed off about the fact that they're trying to do the 3-year exclusive on PlayStation before they move it to PC, and people are pretty upset about that, especially after PC fans have now gotten a taste of Forbidden West or of Zero Dawn. They want Forbidden West to launch.
Give us a taste.
Well, I've heard that Miyazaki is working on a Bloodborne remaster for PC, but every time someone says PC master rate, he delays it a year.
Well, then quit saying it. I want to play that game.
It is 100% your aesthetic.
You would love Bloodborne. It'll kick your ass.
This is what I have heard.
Love it.
But I think John would like Bloodborne because of the way that the combat style is so different from Elden Ring or Dark Souls.
Yeah, I still
'Cause
don't,
it's-
I
I
still
agree.
don't know. I still don't know how to parry anything.
So I was just gonna say, Bloodborne is like, I never played Dark Souls. I did play Demon Souls on the PS3,
And
but I never got into. I never got
it's-
into Dark Souls, but Bloodborne was like, it was a step forward in the more aggressive tactics of fighting.
I can get behind that.
So the Dark Souls slash Demon Souls are very much about defense. You defend, you wait for the right opportunity, you hold back and try and like manage as much of your health as you can without getting hit. Dark Soul or Bloodborne is be aggressive, get right up in the enemy's face, attack,
aggressive.
attack, and if you get hit, keep attacking because you'll get your health back.
Yeah, there's a small window after you get hit where if you attack the enemy and connect, you'll get some of the health that you lost back. And there still is a parry mechanic in Bloodborne, but I think it's a lot more forgiving than
It uses
Dark
a
Souls.
gun.
Yes.
Sold.
No shields. You parry by shooting your opponent in the face.
You actually find a shield pretty early on in the game, but it is one of the most worthless items that you find.
Look what the sea hurled ashore. Hey, you! What clan you from?
And I love the idea that the more insight you gain, which you gain from a collectible, the more shit you see.
Mm-hmm.
Not looking for trouble.
That is just a fantastic mechanic.
Raise your voice and his tail slinks between his legs.
Hang on, I may have to finish this bar fight real quick. I don't take lip from guys in fuzzy hats.
It does look very soft, though.
Yeah.
Whosoever denies shelter to a traveler disgraces himself and brings shame on his clan. Your dad's teaching nothing.
Don't you talk to me about me da, Yoran, or I'll tuck you in the barra.
And you remember this, stranger. This here's not Cair Trolda. And we's not on Crete. Guests are not welcome.
Hey man, I'm here about a contract.
You don't mind the occasional traveler?
This guy seems cool though.
Fools. No matter
Seems like he's a bro.
where they're
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
from. Yoran,
And then from what I understand,
drink with- sit
Sekiro
down with me.
is like a weird middle ground between the two play styles.
Sekiro. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's also aggressive, but when it comes to defense in Sekiro, it's not parrying, it's deflecting. So it's like instead of holding down the block button, you're tapping it in order to deflect attacks.
Sekiro is the embodiment of get good, because you're right. Like you have to success, because everybody, both you and your enemy have a poise meter that is visible on screen, and if you just hold the block button, you will deflect the attack, but your poise will go down. And if your poise depletes, you get opened to a critical. But if you defend at the right moment, you deplete your opponent's poise meter and open them up to a critical. So like, it is the epitome of, you need to, like, there is no, like, you can't be a mage. There's no easy mode around this game. You need to understand the mechanic and execute it.
Only
I mean, from what I understand, there is, in terms of the different arms that you can use,
Yes,
kind of give you
yes.
some cheat.
They do.
But like that's more
I
of a
never
thing where
could-
you mold it to your play style, right?
Guests from the
Yes.
Yeah, I never really did use the arms that much, and maybe that was to my detriment. But I just kept forgetting about them, to be honest. I tried to like find ones that were useful, and I just kept forgetting that they were there.
I have heard that like firecrackers, it will
Tell me more.
carry you throughout most of the game.
If you choose to, yes, they could, especially against the giant bulls. that show up as bosses. In fact, in one of the later stages of the game, there is a giant bull, and if you throw your firecracker at it just right, it will get scared, run itself into a mountain wall, and die.
I mean,
There is something to be said for FromSoft bosses that fight themselves.
As we neared the isle, I hit the rudder hard and turned round. I'd seen a wraith on shore. Must think me a coward.
we got a wraith.
Steel did not do us much good there. I felt it in my bones. All I could
Guys, we got a wraith.
gather gold round the village for a reward.
Well,
Help us and
go kill it.
I will. Speaking of, let's talk about the implications of Jerry Two Swords' haunted past relationships.
For instance,
Yeah, you guys would know that much better than me. I'm not caught up on Jerry Two Swords lore.
Grand.
At least not outside of the Netflix
There
show.
we go.
they've done a really good job with that. It's not 100%, but it's really good.
Thank you, Geralt. You're a good soul.
Well, like something that they changed, right? If I'm not mistaken, they changed from the books. Netflix Jerry does not hook up with Triss.
Not yet, anyway.
He never hooked up with Triss in the books.
But only in the games, right?
Correct. And specifically, like, the first game, she's kind of the canonical relationship in game 1, but there's a whole, like, gaslighting thing going on there because Geralt doesn't have his memories at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Always a
he doesn't
problem.
remember. He doesn't remember that Yennefer exists. Triss knows, and she leads him on anyways, which is pretty messed up from a like meta standpoint. Like there's a lot of problematic things there. Really the only person in the first Witcher game, the only mention of Yennefer in the entire game is from Jaskier, and he assumes you know who he's talking about, even though Geralt doesn't.
Brutal.
Yeah.
You know what else is brutal on a completely unrelated note? The Super Mario movie is being delayed until 2023.
Oh no! That gives Chris Pratt more time to ruin it. But yeah. So like how would one like what relationship advice would you give Jerry Two Swords?
Don't.
That's pretty.
You're bad at it.
I mean, he's kind of killing it. I don't know. I think he's doing an okay job. Spend more time with your kid. Like I would say that.
Well, he's trying, but she keeps running away.
I mean, there is that whole being hunted by evil elf wraiths from another dimension.
Right. You know, that classic trope of childhood struggle.
When they show up in the Netflix series, that's going to be so scary. Like with their special effects budget, the Wild Hunt is going to be incredibly frightening.
Yeah, but I mean, like we were so we have been catching up with one of our close friends on season 2, and also like Yennefer does some stuff that's pretty shady, right? Like this version of Jerry, at least Netflix version of Jerry, does seem to kind of be developing that whole doting father thing. But like, what advice would you give him for his relationship with his kid? Right? Like, so far, Triss is the only kind of touchstone for a female role model that Ciri has, and I don't know if Jerry knows how to deal with that.
He
Well-
almost definitely doesn't.
No, and he also, I mean, like, he doesn't know what to do with a kid, and that's like, I would say, do more than just say you're not going to be safe if you go outside the walls and out of my sight, because that's clearly not true. And I mean, his reaction to her training, at least in the Netflix, Jerry, her reaction to her training on the training grounds with the other Witchers was very like, how dare you try to do something that I didn't necessarily tell you not to do, but how dare you?
See, I read that differently because that was the episode that we just watched last. I think there was like a okay, I didn't think that you could do this, but then you got real close, and you got real close in like a day. Right? Like, you kept at this and almost did this thing in a day.
Was it a day? I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've seen the second season. So I don't remember feeling like it was just a day, because wasn't he doing something out of the place when she was doing all that?
Yeah, but
I thought it was over the
it's
course
not-
of a couple of days.
It's not that much time because, if I remember correctly, Triss portaled them somewhere.
Triss portaled him to go talk to the Yennefer's archaeologist ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. He wasn't gone for very long.
Yeah, like I said, don't do that, but I am impressed. Like Amanda said, like there's, I saw it as he looked at her and was like, okay, first we have to get you patched up. This is a problem because you want to, go play on the on our Kilotron. Let's call it what it is. It's not a training exercise. It's the Kilotron. You want to go do American Ninja Warrior. We have potions that we can take to keep us alive. You can't do that. So I'm going to need to amp up your training in order to, make sure that you're good enough to not crack your skull open, right? Like, they have the, Witchers have the benefit of being able to take tremendous lumps. Right? Ciri doesn't have that. Yeah, that's right. When they were hunting the Leshen. When he came back from the portaling was when Uncle Mitch was about to poison her.
Yeah, I got the sense that he was training her with a great deal of reluctance, and I don't remember if he didn't think she was capable or what, but I feel like he should have been trying to be like, okay, you want to be useful in a world that is incredibly hostile, so let me help you be useful.
I didn't interpret it as he was reluctantly training her. I think he wanted to train her. I got the interpretation that she was trying to push it too far too fast. And that's what he was objecting to.
Yeah, that was another aspect of it as well.
She was wanting to try and jump right into the advanced stuff, whereas he's like, you need to slow it down. Look at that running jump.
Right? Got the skills.
You could almost tackle some Metroid Prime levels of platform.
Hey, lady.
Remember, they attack in threes.
Killing it won't change a thing.
So they're a comedy routine.
Hey.
Yeah, they are a little bit.
Yeah,
There's nothing funny about wraiths, though.
So he's objecting to her going the normal witch route, and for good reason. But something that we also noticed, he does take the time to explain all of this to her.
That's true.
Right? Like, for somebody with, there is friction right now, I think, because they're just, kind of getting used to her. But I'm impressed at how the Netflix version of The Witcher is like, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not gonna soften things. I'm gonna give you the context necessary to explain my reasons. I think that's an interesting way for them to go. You know, it's healthy.
Then the ghost showed, came straight at me. Bolted back inside.
I gotta talk to this guy.
It's probably about as healthy as he gets anyway.
I think so, yeah. I mean, he is just an abused kid,
I look out. There's the ring.
right? Like,
Bugger, bigger than the rest, and cold flow.
you know, here's a kid who's been raised as functionally a monster-killing child soldier since what, like 4 or 5?
Yeah, he was sold at like 4 or 5.
Tell me more.
Brutal. Brutal.
It seemed more clever than the others, like it knew.
It's
So,
funny when oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead and ask.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, it was funny that when season 2 rolled around, my wife and I were perusing something for Netflix to watch, and I just jokingly said we could watch The Witcher, and she gave me this side eye, and asked me to explain it, and I did a little bit. And she's not typically into high fantasy stuff, but
Right.
she was like, you know what? I might watch the first episode when you're not around just to see it for myself. And then later that day, I had to go pick up the groceries, and I get a text from her while I'm waiting for the curbside, and all it says is, "Okay, I'm in."
Right, like. Did you tell her a story about how Henry Cavill kept wearing through the leather armor?
I didn't tell her that. No,
It was
but
just too tight. Just all of that leather just rubbing against his muscles.
You need to talk about how when they were doing season 2, he would go up to the director and start quoting exact passages from the book of what they need to do in the scene. Like, dude has an encyclopedic knowledge of The Witcher at this point.
This is
oh
why.
yeah, no,
this is
she's
why you
very
have to
much aware of
hire-
how much of a big, yeah,
Yeah, you got to hire more nerds for this stuff, y'all. We do it right.
yeah. I mean, she's very much aware of how much of a nerd Henry Cavill is.
Man, he plays Warhammer 40K. He's worse than me.
I mean, that's why he agreed to do The Witcher.
Yeah,
He needed to build a new army.
the custodies don't come cheap.
I now feel a need. Oh, John, you should eat something.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been
Whoop.
snacking. Have you not seen him? Oh, you mean Jerry?
Yeah. No, we got
Yeah.
a little Caesar's hot and ready, man. I'm doing fantastic.
But yeah, now I feel the need to go back and watch season 2. Not because of any of the Geralt and Ciri and Yennefer stuff, but because now that we've been talking about it, I am reminded of Jaskier becoming the Taylor Swift of the continent, and I need to see him in his amazing breakup song.
Just all about his ex.
And just going back, Amanda said that she was raised by Kalan, which is also a good point to make. She, as far as female role models go.
Okay, so I found my way in. There's a ladder boss. I have to admit I wasn't really, but hey, this guy's got sausages in the rafters. Nice.
Hee
It's my kind of house.
All right. But also it said that, like, this guy might be the only one who can light the fire again and, like, dispel the curse. So I gotta bring Homeboy up here.
I don't remember. Don't die.
You'll be there,
Don't
candle
you-
on the water.
I know I'm a few seconds behind, but like you
I'm
seriously
working
almost
on
fell
it.
down
I'm
the ladder
working
box.
on it. I'm doing okay.
So in other media related news, Jen and I watched the Batman on Friday.
Yeah. Have you seen this yet, James?
Have seen it.
What did
They
it?
need to make no spoilers. They need to make 100 more of these movies.
So I thought it was very, very good. I thought that the depiction of the Riddler, one, is such a far departure of any depiction of the Riddler that I've ever seen before. But also it was very unsettling because it was like, I know this is a comic book character, but this guy exists.
Yeah, he's out
Yeah.
there. It was very realistically done.
Yeah. And I appreciate that it was much more cerebral of a Batman film. Like, yes, there was action. Yes, there was superhero punches, supervillain moments, but it was much more than that.
Yeah, he was a
So-
detective. But not only that, like, let's be frank, not the best detective, not yet.
No, not even close.
When this originally came out, and John saw it in theaters like immediately afterwards. I had asked John's opinion about it, and the thing that he said then was the thing that, like, I 100% agree, having seen the movie. This is the first Batman movie to get Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
Trouble not a soul.
Like,
Come back to that later.
it actually understands who he is as a character, and I love it, and I want to see more of it so bad.
And we finally got a Batman that helps people.
Luckily, all you
Yeah.
gotta do is like
That's
Well,
incredible.
and you got to see that transition too. You got to see this transition from being
Yeah.
dark, brooding, I am vengeance to that doesn't work all the time.
Feel it.
Yeah, like,
Perhaps
maybe I should stop enacting vengeance and, like, get these people to safety. I can
oil and let's go.
do what's right instead of, like, punching somebody about it.
Well, and also, like, without getting into spoilers for anyone who might be listening,
Now shut your mouth and go light the
but
fire.
it also, he learns the lesson of, I haven't been doing my duty because I've been spending too much time being the, like, brooding, scary Batman, and I could have short-circuited this entire thing had I actually done the right thing.
Hang on a
Remember to
second.
use Irden, John.
I'm trying to remember. There it is. Irden. Ow, 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 ow. No. All these diarrhea are Christmas lights.
You can't really hurt the penitent unless you're in the Irden zone.
There we go.
Light. Finally. Time to get this done.
But so yeah, they've already confirmed that there's going to be a spin-off of Penguin,
On
and that's
HBO
gonna be
Max, yeah.
fantastic. Colin Farrell, like, completely unrecognizable, and somebody needs to win some kind of an award.
For that makeup, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
See-
also going to be, isn't there going to be like a Gotham PD spinoff too?
It wouldn't
No,
surprise me.
so they had talked about that, but it did not get greenlit. It's one of the they pitched 3 concepts to HBO Max. The Penguin got greenlit. The Gotham PD spinoff they nixed because apparently, like, HBO Max already has enough police procedurals. They're like, we don't need more. But the other one that got greenlit is an Arkham Asylum
I know the
spinoff.
feeling. So long.
That's going to be
Oh, I
a lot
didn't-
of the, like, minor Rogues Gallery characters.
if it
Yeah.
weren't for you, I'd have died of hunger.
I know that.
You did it.
Yeah. We've been watching. We've been chewing again through the seasons of Doom Patrol as well, and I think that's one of the best things that
Freaking
DC has
love
ever
that
made.
show. That show is amazing.
That show is so good. And it manages to do it like both because of and despite Grant Morrison, and that in itself is impressive.
So for the continuation of the Batman universe, the director Reeves, he has stated that he does not. Oh, I don't. That was a weird animation.
Yep, I survived it, but that was a bonkers one.
But he's already stated that he does not intend on having Joker ever be a main villain in any of, if he does more Batman movies. Barry Keoghan, is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know who you're referring to.
The guy
the actor that played the Joker in the Batman.
Oh yeah. I barely paid attention to it, and I didn't really care. Like,
so there's a deleted scene you ought to look at. Warner Brothers actually released it on YouTube, and like anyone can go watch it. There was a scene that was cut for time because the movie is already incredibly long, where Batman would have gone to Arkham to talk to the Joker about the Riddler case, Hannibal Lecter style.
yeah, I don't think that was necessary.
It's a good scene though.
It's a good scene, but I'm fine with the Joker playing a lesser role in Batman stories.
Yes.
Just because it's been like with the Arkham games and the Dark Knight Rises.
It's been done so much.
And
1989 Batman.
And Leto, whatever that was. Joker's just been over. He's been overdone. He needs a break.
Yeah, and Reeves has said he will never be like the main. So long as he's doing the movie, Joker will never be the main villain. He might show up for a scene or two, similar to in the Batman, but he'll never be like a main plot point. And I think that is great.
Just there.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater thing. Bear.
Oh God, you said bear. I had Elden Ring flashbacks. Don't do that.
Right. I'll take my frustration out where I can.
I am still very much in the early game of Elden Ring, but I'm up into Stormvale Castle. I still cannot beat the Rune Bear.
No, you shouldn't.
You will never be able to beat a Rune Bear. I will just spoilers.
Yeah.
No matter how far you get into the game, any Rune Bear you ever see, run away.
Yeah, you don't want to fight him.
Yeah, the boss of I think it's called the Earth Cave. Yeah, I cannot beat that Rune Bear.
Yeah, I think I used, I forget which, I think I had I had gotten the Skeletal Bandit ashes, which is 2 skeletons, and they're just like every other skeleton out there, where you have to hit them once they're dead or else they come back. And I think I used them to beat the Rune Bear, to help me beat the Rune Bear, because the bear would never finish them off.
Let's talk about my reward.
Yes, got it right here.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to end up having to try.
And a round. Cheers to your health.
I did enjoy my ashes of the demi-humans once I found them. It was fun to run around with 5 little screeching fanatics in various zones.
So long.
A bunch of little goblin monsters following you around.
Yep.
Got a taste for Skellige mead, vagrant?
It's not bad, thanks.
I had named them at one point, but I've forgotten what they were because I moved on to different zones.
So to jump back to one last point on the Batman, I had mentioned this to John after I finished the movie, but if they do a sequel, given what they did with the Riddler and how creepy they were able to make the Riddler,
Thanks, Jorn.
I want to see them do Hush. Like Thomas Elliott with this directorial team will be terrifying.
What?
Rude fur hats. What happened to you?
I don't know. I guess I... Hang on, Like, I got, like, one punched and, like, went down before the animation. I'm gonna go back and do that again.
So many.
I think to your back to your point, I think Hush and Thomas Elliot would be really fun to explore. But I would be really interested in them doing like some more. Like it was great to see a new version of Riddler, but I would love to see like explorations of other minor characters. Like I would love to see a Matt Reeves take on the ventriloquist.
Oh, that would be cool. Or Mad Hatter. He could make a real creepy Mad Hatter.
Or even Clock King.
Ratcatcher.
We've already seen Taika Waititi do it.
We have, yeah.
Related to series reappearance, it had destroyed a vast swath of forest.
Blah, 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 blah.
To the Isles to join the sorcerer.
The third voice is my buddy James. Daniel?
Him again. Got a taste for Skellige mead, vagrant.
It's
All
not
right.
bad, thanks.
Huh, then get yourself a cake.
Yep.
Once you get done with this fight, John, I gotta get going.
Yeah,
I've got
samesies.
that bedtime for work stuff.
All right, so should I tell Jordan to relax, or should we go on ahead and get in a fight?
I think you can chill.
Relax your end. It's just banter. Weak, but still.
Nay, we're serious. Dead serious.
And foolish as colts that graze on hemlock. But I'll put you straight.
Giving me no choice.
Yeah, hi,
fight either
I'm
way.
James. We there were some Elden Ring lore chats happening, and oh yeah, you did just get knocked down.
Yeah, like it's a scripted.
Yeah, there were some Elden Ring lore things happening, and I hopped in on the voice chat so that I wouldn't
James
be burdened
has
with
the
typing.
James has the distinct honor of being the person who has killed me the most in Halo. I'm still using Irden.
Speaking of Halo, apparently the show is really good.
I've heard otherwise, but I don't have Paramount Plus to back that up, so I wouldn't know.
Is it Master Chief horrific?
I mean, the reviews that I've been reading are that it's very decent, especially like Forward Unto Dawn, the movie that they did was good, not great. It was good. And this show kind of like fixes the problems that movie had.
But 2 sons, and you killed them.
Wait, do I have to kill these?
Sorry.
Do I have to kill these guys' dad too?
Does this stranger
I hope not.
who first drew a blade?
Dunno. It happened fast, and we were a few horns in.
Don't look at me, I have another mid.
Your son showed no respect for the law. If not for your end, something would have happened first time around.
There's a blood's feud between Yoren's family and mine.
Oh, blood feuds.
Dead or said.
Don't want any more bloodshed, but I'll defend myself if I have to.
You'll make your defense before
Why's it gotta be spelled all funny?
That man Lugos calls you innocent. Will you be free to go?
Fantasy Poland reason?
Somebody you yourselves call madman?
That, or fight the whole village, and you'll never defeat us all. Not with 3 swords, you won't.
All right, John, I gotta get going. Y'all have a good night.
Lead the way.
All right, well, I will get set up for this trial. We'll see you again next week, Tom. Let me know if you want to stream something throughout the week. We still got to play Disco Elysium.
Yeah, we'll do.
But
Later, man.
that will do it for us. I'm gonna get out of this cutscene stuff and end the stream myself. But thank you guys again so much for coming to join. And James, thanks for hopping on. It's always good to hear your dulcet tones.
By that damn tavern.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. Anytime. You are always welcome. And that's gonna do it for us this time on Fantasy Poland Monday. Perfect. Stranger in a Strange Land next week. Jerry Unchained. We'll see you guys then. Like, comment, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Do all the good stuff. Feed the algorithm. And don't forget to make fun of Elon Musk. Go on ahead and post that picture of his receding hairline. It does wonders. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.